Welcome to another show. I have got Micheal Hayes, CEO and co-founder of Bryton Power. What does the future look like when it comes to solar?
I think solar is here to stay. I think what is not going to be around very long is, the solar commissions that sales guys are making.
Yeah.
We're going to find a way to sell this product without knocking on the door, which I do think we need to get there. I think it needs to happen. Guys in door to door, they don't want to be in door to door forever. This is an engine to get what you want or where you want to be. What salespeople could do to prolong the gold rush or whatever you want to call it of solar is mature. Like we need to be more mature. Right now it's really immature.
Welcome to another show. I have got Micheal Hayes, CEO and co-founder of Bryton Power. That's right. And we've got a lot in common, so this show's going to be good. We're going to keep it real. How long have you been in the game now?
I got started in 2015
with Vivint.
With Vivint Solar.
Vivint Solar. Who recruited you? It's always interesting.
So, do you know Brian Peterson?
I know who he is. I don't know him personally.
He goes by BP.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So he recruited me. Yep.
How did he?
So I was at the Apple store one day in Bakersfield, California, and I was getting a computer or something, and he came in with all his Vivint gear on, and I think I cracked a joke like, "Hey, do you Vivint guys wear anything else?" And so we started talking it up right there, and that's kind of how it happened.
And that's where he conned you in to getting into the biz.
That's where
it's awesome,
me.
Man.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So Bryton's got some really, really cool stuff going on. In fact, so how I met Mike, we just moved in to the office space. You
stole our space.
We kicked them out. We kicked them out. I'm sure we got a better deal than they did. I'm teasing. And that's how I met him. And I met his partner, Dave, and also Dylan, one of the other co-founders. Yeah. He worked with my bro, Steve, and he's actually sitting right over there.
Sure, he's hiding in the corner.
He's going to have 2 cents to throw in there every once in a while to keep Mike in check as he's going through things. Anyway, but you started with Vivint. Then was it your group that you sold something to Lumio? So tell me about this. Like, tell me your path or journey.
Yeah, so I was at Vivint Solar 2015. Solar was pretty new at that point. Vivint Solar had been operating for like a year, so just the early stages. And then I did that for 3 years in California. Worked under Jeff Gallivan, Sterling Hills, if anybody knows them. And then in 2018, I started my own sales company called Lift Energy. And Dave had a construction company called Abundant. And we started working together. He started doing our solar installs for us. And then we decided, hey, let's just come together. And so we merged the company, formed Lift Energy Construction. And we grew that up for 3 years out in California. We did like 4,400 accounts our last year.
That's good, dude. That's a lot of accounts, just FYI.
It is. And we merged / got acquired by Lumio.
Yep.
And at the end of 2021.
Nice.
So,
well, congrats.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
Yep.
And then you're like, we ain't through. Let's go next chapter. Then Bryton was
I think born. We had different ambitions than Lumio did, and we had different things we wanted to do, and I guess I would say we had different what can I say, what can I not say, ethics, I guess is the word I'll throw out there.
That's okay. That happens, man.
And so we actually walked away. So we walked away from Lumio.
Was that tough? That had been tough.
It was tough. It was really tough, actually.
Sleepless nights, long meetings.
Yeah. So the last year has been really rough. Obviously, we're not in agreement with them on everything.
Yeah.
But
working through it.
We worked through it, and so we started Bryton Power in December 2022. First quarter, we did a megawatt because Dylan's the man and does sales.
Oh boy.
Which if anyone knows solar, like it's pretty good. Your first 3 months to do a megawatt of solar. So we're killing it. We're great.
Good work, Dylan.
Same team, same dream.
Yeah.
Same team, same dream. So such an interesting, and I haven't had anyone on yet to talk about this, but such an interesting space here with, you guys do a lot of more door knocking or more internal sales. How do you generate sales?
So the industry's kind of,
Shifted.
it definitely has, it's shifted. There's definitely more like lead generation, online lead generation stuff happening with appointments and whatnot. But at the end of the day, knocking doors is still proven to be the best method,
The most powerful way
to generate accounts.
It's really crazy because I did it for 12 years. So I got into the game 2003, 2002. And I learned so much during my time.
Yeah.
And I was 12 years in the game. And I don't know if you knew this, believe it or not, Todd Peterson sat me down to run Vivint Solar at one point.
Really?
And that was the year that I started Gigg.
Well, he should have grabbed you because the guy he got to do it instead didn't do a very good job.
Not
to mention any names, but you can look that one up.
So, but it was still early on. It was still unproven. It was, not that it was unproven, but it was just a lot of question marks. And I was ready to step outside the game just because I'd been in it so long.
Yeah.
But I am so
You can edit that part out, by the way.
Okay. No, we're leaving that in, dude. Unless you can tell us if you want us to edit out, keep it. But anyway, it just wasn't my path. But I really believe that the best thing that a young man and even a young woman can do to learn skills that could help in their career or profession for their entire life is door. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think before door-to-door sales with Vivint Solar, I was planning on being a dental hygienist, right? Like where my head was at with what I thought I could do or where I was going to go was so different, right? So meeting BP that day at the Apple store and getting into Vivint Solar and getting mentored and hitting the doors and going through that, you learn so much in door-to-door sales. I think more than any other job. So it just teaches you how to get rejected, how to overcome, how to hit goals, how to just all that stuff. So I credit any success that I have to, Vivint Solar and just hitting the doors for 3 years. So
that's awesome. You just mentioned something that I'm super curious about because this stuff fascinates me. You just mentioned how you grew up thinking you were going to move into to becoming a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
How did that shift? Because the truth of the matter is, Mike, and we all know this, like so many people move into, career driven ideas based on childhood, maybe a parent doing that in that certain field or whatever. But like something triggered you to say, no, I'm going to run a solar company.
Well, I actually got accepted. So I was in school studying. I was actually, I applied for dental hygiene program and I actually got in. And it was like right when I started doing solar, I got my first paychecks and, I'm like, okay.
You're like, are you kidding me?
Am I going to study cleaning teeth for the next 2 years? Or am I going to go work for the next 30 days and make the money I'd make
in a year
doing this? And I had a desire for dental hygiene and my family has, dentist in it and things like that. So things were set up for me to be successful with it. But I had never, like where I came from and my family and what I expected of myself, it wasn't even in my mind at that point. Right. So getting into the door-to-door space and seeing what was possible and being around other people that could mentor me, it just kind of showed me like, wow, there's so much more that I'm capable of that I can go do. So
it was really like that first check or the money that you saw you made,
I think I actually had like an ambulance bill from like 2012 and my credit was trashed and couldn't pay my
ambulance
bills.
Bill?
I had all this medical debt that I couldn't pay. And I'm in school, right? And I'm just trying to like fight through it. And I'm newly married too and whatnot. And I think our rent was like $500 at the house we were renting.
Yeah.
We shared a car and I was working at the hardware store part-time.
I love it.
Going to school. But I got my first, so I went out and sold 3 accounts my first week and then they all got installed that same week. I got my first paycheck which solar commissions today, it would have been a lot bigger of a check. But at the time, I got paid like 10 grand, and it was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing, and paid off my medical debt. And
That's awesome.
And you know what I mean? Like things started to change really quick, right? So solar is obviously like a unique industry where you can make good money, but sales in general is where you can make good money. And
for sure.
So,
yeah, sales,
that was a big turning point for me.
That's cool. Well,
that first check.
I love stories like that, and I think it's pretty. You're obviously a leader because in the position you're in, and with the great people that I don't know, Dylan. Did this dude invite, or did he actually
talk up?
Dylan. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'll speak loud.
Yeah.
So Mike and I we went to school together, Spanish Fork. We've been working around each other for the last, nearly 10 years, right? Sharing leads. I was at Vivint on the alarm side. He was on the solar side. And I've been going to Bakersfield for literally the last 10 years. And so we'd always brush shoulders, share leads. And he's like, hey, whenever you want to make real money, come over here, right?
Yeah, so Dylan would come. He'd come out with the alarm guys into Bakersfield, and I'd say, hey, here's some of my new solar customers, and he'd go sign them up with the alarm, and vice versa. He would, hey, I signed these people up with the alarm. They want Vivint Solar too. So Dylan and I had a good relationship there. And then, obviously when I was done with Vivint, we stayed in contact. And
that's cool.
So
then you recruited him.
Well, we're working together now. Dylan, I've worked so far at Vivint Solar, Lift Energy, when we ran Lift Energy, and now even Bryton. Like, I haven't come across anyone that can. Let me put it this way. We just did a leadership retreat, not with our sales org, but with our employees, and Dylan obviously was there. And we did this exercise where everyone walked up to the front of the room and wrote down the one person in our company that if they could clone, it would lead us to world dominance, right? And every single person wrote down Dylan's name. So That just tells you like who Dylan is. And
it's because I paid them.
It's because he paid him, yeah.
That's what it was.
But Dylan, he's one of a kind for sure.
That's impressive, dude. That's saying something. That's pretty incredible. So
we only have like 10 employees, so
We're still pretty small.
No, they have a lot more employees than that. They have a lot more employees than that. So this solar space, super interesting. I remember when I first started, in the summer sales thing. My first summer was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And Dylan did this, worked with my brother a little bit. In it was not home automation back then, it was home security, and turned into home automation. Do you know how much I made my first summer selling 165 deals?
30,000.
40.
Well,
38,000. I was getting paid $100 up front for my sale.
Yeah.
Right. And then, I think I worked up to a back end of whatever it was. Today, how much would I make today if I sold 165 systems?
Solar accounts?
No. Let's talk home automation real quick.
Hopefully $900 a pop, maybe $150.
$900 a pop.
It's gone up.
I look at Steve's flipping pay structure. You guys owe it to me. Okay. I set the stage, not just me, but all the dudes. There is John Frampton's one of those guys, one of the early stagers. I still think he got in the game a few years after I did. And we could talk about John for days.
Solar, there's something similar to that. Like when we started doing solar in 2015, like you would have the customer sign the paper contract, that you rip up and it's dramatic, and hand them a copy.
Yeah.
And then you would get on the phone with Vivint and you would run their credit on the phone. They would talk to the customer, run the credit, and then you get back on the phone. They're like, yeah, they failed. You're like, awkward. What do I say here? But anyways, you'd run the credit on the phone. You'd schedule a site visit for a technician 3 to 4 days later. So 3 to 4 days later, these people signed a contract. They haven't seen a proposal. They don't know how much it's going to cost them each month. They don't know where it's going.
Is that still the case? Right.
That's how it was.
Oh.
Guy would show up, survey the home, and then you would 3 to 4 days later after that, you would get a CAD drawing, like a permittable design, and then you would go show it to the customer and be like, here's the engineering on your home. Do you want to do this? You know, thumbs up or thumbs down. Like that was the process. Today it's like, hey, can I get your address? Here you go. Right. In 60 seconds, they've got a proposal. So solar's come a long way.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So when I hear these guys complain about my proposal's taking 15 minutes, it's like, come on, give it a minute, you know?
Dang. Well, it's incredible the money that these guys can make. The truth of the matter is, you know, a lot of these, I call them kids, a lot of these young men and women that get into this game, they have no idea how blessed they are
Yeah.
to have an opportunity to go make the kind of money that they're making. I mean,
Yeah.
there are young men and women that are making $500,000 to $1 million plus.
Yeah.
Going out and busting their cans, doing what many would consider as one of the toughest. I think knocking doors could be one of the toughest jobs for anyone mentally, emotionally, right? It will rip you in half.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you, how have you stayed committed? I know there have been times where you're like, what in the hell am I doing? This is too much.
Yeah.
Anyone, sure. Right? But how do you keep all your team motivated to keep doing this? Like what techniques or things do you use to keep them going all year, summer, year? What do you do?
Jeez. Now you got me thinking that I need to put something in place. We're so new at Bryton that really our sales are being piggybacked off of what Dylan's put in place. You know, but when I was more invested with the sales guys and motivating them, especially at Lift Energy, I think it was more just where we were going. Like, I always tell people when they come work for us, we're not the best. Like, there's 100 other solar companies that do exactly what we do.
There's a bunch of them. And
I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this is the place to be. You have to be at Bryton Power. It's the only, you know, we're the only ones that can do it, right? Because it's just not true. But I think what we did really well was, we were honest in that sense where we would be upfront about that stuff. But we always had, this is what the company's going to do, and you can be a part of it, and this is where we're going. And so, you know, even this morning, we sat down with two guys that we really want to lead, you know, right underneath Dylan. We want them to lead our sales team. And the whole conversation was, you know, we started talking about, you know, what could be incentivizing for them to do the work. And it wasn't about money. It was, which is interesting, right? It was titles. It was, you know, how they could become directors, how they could become VPs. It was growth. It was, you know, they want to own homes in the next 2 years, and putting a structure in place where, you know, we can assist with that if they stick to the strategy and the game plan. So I think that's important. Is guys in door to door, they don't want to be in door to door forever.
No.
I didn't.
No.
You didn't.
No.
So it's helping them see, like, this is an engine to get what you want or where you want to be. It might be dental school, you know,
and that's okay.
Yeah. So it might be, you know, there was a guy I worked with at Vivint Solar. God, I'm forgetting his name right now, which makes me feel bad, but his dream was to own an ice cream shop. He owns it right here in Lehigh. It's the Pirate ice cream place.
Oh yeah, dude. It's so
what's
good.
What's it called? I'm drawing a blank. But anyways.
Yeah,
Brooks.
Brooker, it's Brooker's.
Yeah.
Brooker's ice cream. I can't remember. Yeah, it's so good.
I might be getting this story wrong, but he was a JAG lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Before he started doing solar at Vivint Solar. And so this guy comes in, and he's his family, like his kids are in high school. Like, he's not just some young kid coming out doing summer sales.
He's a good dude. I know him. I know who he is.
Is he Devin Booker?
I think it's Devin Booker. Yeah, I think.
I might be getting the name wrong. But I always looked up to him because, you know, you could tell that he was there doing it for a purpose.
Yeah, he had a purpose, a reason.
Yeah, and then one day, he's like, "Hey, I'm done, guys." I'm like,
Thank you.
What do you mean you're done? He was like the number one sales rep in the company, just killing it. And it's like, yeah, I'm opening up my ice cream shop. It's my dream. I've made the money I want to make.
That's so awesome.
I'm doing what I want to do. And you could tell it wasn't about money. It was about what he wanted. And what he wanted was to own this pirate ice cream shop. And so he just quit and started his ice cream parlor.
That is awesome.
So I don't know. I guess to kind of land the plane on your question, it's why are you here? What's the real reason? Yes, money, but what's the money for? What are you trying to accomplish? And everybody's different. Some people it's, hey, I want to say that I was a director at a publicly traded company, sales company. You know, that's what they want.
Right.
Or I want to open up an ice cream shop.
Right.
So it's finding out what their real desire is and then putting things in place for them to go hit that. So
that's cool, man. I've always loved, you know, and I'm not the first one to say this, but I've heard it, and you know, it speaks volumes to me. And you played a significant role in this guy moving into what he would consider success, or moving towards his next chapter. And I truly believe the greatest success that you can have in your life, true success, is being a part of someone else's success story.
Yeah.
So if he's talking about his ice cream shop, let's say it dots the map one day, and he can say, you know, I had a chance to work with Micheal Hayes, you know, or Dylan, and you're a part of his success story. That is true success, and that's cool. So totally. I love hearing that. Helping everyone wants growth.
It's also the most frustrating.
Oh, dude.
Like when you want it like a little bit more than they do, you know?
Yeah.
That can be the hard part.
I'm dealing with that with my kids right now. You know?
Well, I have a 3-year-old, so I don't know what that's like.
Oh, you'll be there.
But...
You'll be there. And you know, you don't love anything in the world more than your kids, and you just want them to be the best, and you want them to do this and this and this right and that right, you know? And you want the best for them, and it's hard if they don't want it like you do, but you got to be respectful of it.
Yeah.
Like you probably wanted that guy to continue working with you, right?
Yeah.
But you're like, all right, you know, go do your thing. That's what you set out to do in the beginning. So that's really cool. So I want to talk about the business. What are the goals with Bryton? Where are you guys at right now? Where can people, you know, get your service?
Our headquarters are here in Utah.
By the way, they just got a sick new setup.
Yeah.
So we didn't kick them out. They left to get into a much sexier, doper, cool, awesome spot. How is the office spot?
It's here in Linden still. Yeah, it's just right over the freeway. It's over, what's nearby, Dylan? Tom Blinks.
Right around the corner from R&R.
Yeah,
Yep.
right over there.
Turn right
here in Linden, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big building that says NMI on it, but it's been fun.
R&R or Bam Bam's R&R or Bam Bam's barbecue. Let's just ask that question.
R&R's absolute trash. If I want to spend $40 on a
so I've never had Bam Bam's.
You're gonna go to R&R?
Yeah, if I want to pay for overpriced barbecue.
Okay.
Overpriced trash barbecue.
All right, I appreciate it. I was hoping for a positive endorsement on Bam Bam's.
And then I'm gonna go to Bam Bam's for the most succulent, wet, moist brisket. Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't like the word moist.
Yeah,
but we'll take it. I mean, that's yeah. But thank you, Dylan.
I've never tried Bam Bam's, but
what?
No, I haven't. So
I'm slightly offended.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make that happen.
But Bryton's out in California. That's where our operations are. You know, we want to hit other states next.
When's next?
California's what we know. Probably in the next 6 to 8 months. We're looking at New Mexico right now, and then Arizona is on the agenda as well.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, honest question, putting you on the spot here: is solar here to stay? And if it is, where's it going? And if it's not, what happens? I guess that's a broad question, but I'm curious. There's a lot of. It's funny because when I was talking to Todd way back about solar, one of the concerns I had was the staying power of solar.
Yeah.
And sometimes politics and states and the way they look and view things like solar. What is it here to stay in your opinion? And what does the future look like when it comes to solar? I have my thoughts. I mean. Yeah,
and I definitely think it's an opinion thing. I don't think there's like a right or wrong if it will or if it won't. But, you know, in 2016, you know, everybody at Vivint Solar was like, we've got 4 years, you know.
I remember that.
Here we are. You know, there's definitely been a lot of changes recently. Some have been good in the industry. Some have been not good for solar. But I think solar is here to stay. I think what is not going to be around very long is, the solar commissions that sales guys are making.
Yeah.
I think eventually what's going to happen next is, we're going to find a way to sell this product without knocking on the door, which I do think we need to get there. I think it needs to happen. I think what salespeople could do to prolong the gold rush, or whatever you want to call it, of solar is mature. Like we need to be more mature as a sales industry in solar. Right now it's really immature, and there's it's kind of the wild west, and
For sure.
and a lot of companies are running it that way or allowing it to be that way. Right now anybody can create an LLC and go sign on as a dealer for a solar company, right? And so there's not a lot of regulations or laws in place to kind of, you look at like real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate. And I mean, I'm not old enough to really know, but I'm pretty sure that it used to be similar to where there was just a lot of things happening that the government or, didn't really have things in place or policies, and now there are, and there's limitations and things you can do. And whether it's how people are pricing these systems or overpricing elderly customers, or, there's a lot right now that really the only people that are monitoring it is the actual solar installation company.
Yeah.
But it's a lot to ask too. So I think that's, if we want the sales portion to last in solar, then we need to get better in that area. Otherwise, the states and the government's going to step in and they're going to put regulations in place.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think solar in general, like residential solar and
it's not going
renewable
anywhere.
energy, like it's here.
Yeah,
it's just getting started.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's interesting. I would have said the same thing on the sales pay.
Yeah.
In fact, can you talk about what is a first year rep that goes out and busts his or her can gonna make in a summer or a year?
So solar traditionally is more of a year-round, kind of like a career job, not so much a summer sales job. But we're seeing our per rep average they'll go out for a week on these blitz trips, we call them.
Yeah.
And we will get a sale for every 1.3 reps that we have out there. So if they're selling one a week throughout the year, then the commissions are, if you generate the account yourself, and there's like a setter closer model in solar, you set it, you close it, you split the commissions, right? The commission's around $5,000 on each account. So, if you can go do one a week, you can make $5,000 a week.
That's pretty impressive.
A rookie just making $20,000 a month is the potential. Potential's more, right? So one a week, definitely, like one sale, you're out all week long working. Like when I started doing solar, I did anywhere from 25 to 35 accounts a quarter, and the pay was significantly less. So kind of
like my world, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you ever get a guy that can knock down 3 or 4 a week?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Is Dylan capable of something like that?
Dylan will make, I thought I was a good sales rep. I am not. After working with Dylan, I am not a good sales rep. Dylan's that guy that, we called the utility company out in California. We called PG&E the other day on behalf of a customer. And typically when you call this line, you have to give the social, the address, birthday. And somehow Dylan's cracking jokes, talking to this lady, and the lady just gives him all the information without even verifying any of the customer stuff. So
good gracious. That's
Dylan's sales skills for you.
Impressive.
Dave and I were chuckling at it pretty hard. Like, holy cow!
Impressive.
How did she do that?
Hopefully this lady doesn't get fired. Oh my goodness!
Like, she didn't verify anything. Gave you all that info.
Oh my goodness!
But
all right. Well, I wanna close this down with a couple more questions for you. Tell me what the toughest thing has been in the past 5 years as an entrepreneur. What has been
when we sold our company? That That's
Hands
the
down.
hardest thing I've ever done in my life, was sell our company. Not because it was not like giving up the company, it was the process. I learned so much from it. I definitely want to do it again, but I'm going to do everything the complete opposite. It was hard because we got in bed too early. We started saying yes to things too soon. And so this is actually advice that I would want to give people.
That's what we're
is
looking
if
for.
you are looking to sell equity, sell your business, anything like that, definitely don't start operating together until everything is finalized. Don't invest your money into, what they're doing until it's finalized.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake that we made, was how can we help you? We were on board, right? Which I think is the right mentality. Like, I think that's what
It's good nature.
That's what good people do.
Yeah.
But it hurt us, and not only did it hurt, me obviously, but it affected our employees and the company. And so, yeah, that definitely was the hardest thing, was going through that transition. So
That's good. That's good. My next question would be, what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur looking to start a company? Like, what things should they be thinking about or looking for as they move into what they want to do?
partner with people.
Good.
Don't
Good answer.
Don't do it on your own. Like, yes, you can, right? Like, I'm not the guy that's going to tell anybody they can't do something, but people have skills and people have talents, and I don't care who you are, you can't do everything.
No.
Some people are good at the podcast and the branding and the marketing, and some people are good at the sales. Some people are good at operations. Some people are better at communicating with people. Some people are good at managing money, managing processes. Find those people, partner with them. Don't keep it all to yourself. That's so far with Lyft and Bryton. I think that's the thing that's been, like, if I tried to start Bryton on my own 4 months ago, we would have probably gotten 5 installs in, but I partnered with Dylan and Dave and his people, and we did a megawatt. So you can do more together. So definitely,
awesome.
like, for me, partnerships are the biggest thing. And not only getting partners, but that also can be the worst thing you could do, is getting the wrong partner.
Which I can say that I've done too many times to count. But,
yeah.
But these are all experiences that you learn and grow from. Failures are crucial in, I think, any success, company success. So that's good stuff. But you have a good squad, dude. I've had a chance to meet a few of you Bryton boys, and you have a good squad, man.
Yeah, we couldn't bring Dave because he wouldn't have fit in this chair. He's a little too,
Dave is a big brother.
He's the gym rat.
He is a big brother. Good dude though. So okay, I appreciate you coming on. I always like to finish with some whack questions to kind of get to know you on a another level. We don't have to be also serious about business. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you can just give me a quick answer, all right, on all this. So I want to know what your favorite film is. Do you have a favorite film?
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. 100%.
Yes, dude.
I concur. He quotes it all day.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Day.
That's my movie right there.
There's more one-liners in that flipping movie than just about any. It's a classic. So I was talking with my brothers, a few months ago. What movies had you laughing harder than any other movie that you saw in the theater?
Yeah,
Dumb and Dumber was probably number one for me, like on the ground.
But then
Happy Gilmore.
My favorite actor is Kevin Costner, so anything with Kevin Costner is my favorite.
Do you like the new Yellowstone?
Oh yeah,
that's good.
That's good.
It's really good. It's good. That's good. Yeah, he's a stud too. He is a stud. Okay, what's your favorite genre of music?
Country. But I like all music. But yeah.
Do you like Morgan Wallen?
Yeah.
My wife's like, is it Waylon or Wallen?
We argue about that. I'm pretty sure it's Wallen, but
we should do it. We need to do like a Twitter or a survey thing, Instagram, find out on that. Yeah, she's way into him. I think she has a crush on him, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay. Your favorite superhero?
Ooh. I've never been too into that. Let's see. You
got to have one, even as a kid.
Superhero. don't know, man. Probably Batman.
Mm. Batman's a good one. He's probably my number 2.
You
But
know.
yes, that's a good one. That's definitely
Not
a good
really
one.
a superhero. He's just got all the gadgets and the money. I don't know. So he kind of creates it. But
Okay, here you go. Next thing. What is the one pet peeve that your wife would have about you?
the one.
The number one.
Oh my gosh, that's a long
We
list.
should have her in here.
There's a lot I'm trying to pick from.
Feel free to share them all. This might be kind of...
Well, like last night, she got mad that I didn't put paper towel over my plate when I put it in the microwave.
Oh,
Let's
dude, you
see.
got to do... Was it meat? Was there meat in it? Or like salsa?
Yeah, it was like this cheesy chicken, broccoli stuff
Oh,
that she
that's
made.
a big fail. That's a pet peeve of mine.
She thinks I breathe too loud. That's a big one.
Have you tried not breathing?
Not breathing, not texting her back.
Hey, these are just, not texting
Yeah,
back.
long list.
a
The
good one.
biggest one, geez.
He's like, this one.
Let's go with that one.
Okay.
Not putting something in the microwave. She loses her mind.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess the microwave needs to be spotless all the time. So
The one food you can't turn down if it's put in front of you.
I think it's like soda, like
What kind?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. That's a good one.
Like if we go out to dinner and like I try to get water and someone orders a Dr. Pepper, I'm like, oh hell,
So
just give me a
good.
Dr. Pepper.
Have you
I
had the-
can't
have-
do it.
Have you had the Dr. Pepper Zero?
Yeah.
So good. Okay, 3 more questions. First celebrity crush.
Jessica Alba.
That's a good one. She's beautiful. What movie was it that you saw where you're like, dang?
What is it? Blue Rush or
yeah,
Blue
Blue.
Crush? Yeah.
Was it Blue Crush?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's his name was in it? The dude from Fast and the
But
Furious.
but I got another one.
Okay.
Halle Berry.
She's
She's my favorite, but you said first. But yeah,
Okay,
Halle
that's
Berry is
good.
definitely my celebrity crush.
First concert you ever went to?
I want to say it was Keith Urban.
He's good, dude. I like Keith.
Yeah,
He's pretty good, dude. Keith
Yeah.
Urban.
Keith Urban.
I'm a big fan of Keith Urban. Okay, and finally, your favorite cereal. I already know the answer.
I got a lot of favorite cereals, but yeah, Frosted Flakes.
This tends to be
The
a lot of
Tiger.
people's number one.
It's a good
This one
choice.
doesn't even make
It's a
my
safe,
top 10.
It's a safe choice.
I think I overdid that one as a kid.
It's a safe choice.
That was good.
That was good.
That was actually pretty good, dude.
That's not bad.
That's actually
Yeah.
not bad. Anyway, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks for having
stuff. There's some gems in here, some of the things you shared with us. So best of luck to you guys. You too, Dylan. We probably should have had you in here. We were talking quite a bit. Where can people find you? I don't know if you do much social media, maybe you do, or Bryton, where can they learn more about you guys?
BrytonPower.com.
BrytonPower.com.
Yeah, you can. I think our Instagram is Bryton Sales. It's BRYTON.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, that's where you can find
Cool.
us.
Well, check them out, guys. These guys are on their way. It's going to be fun to see where you're at in 5 years. So
Oh, yeah.
keep it going. Until next time, sayonara.